I am Tom, and we're just hanging out tonight. I am changing plans. I will not be doing Dynasty Warriors tonight. I'm just going to chill, enjoy a few beers, babysit my dog because he's kind of still down and out, but he is actually using all four paws again. But at the same point, he's still kind of meh. And I downloaded Hytale because I've been watching a lot of streamers play that game recently, and I'm gonna try that tonight. I would stream it, but I kind of want to figure out what the fuck I'm doing before I do so. So it's kind of the plan for the night, just chill. And like what I made last weekend, I'm making something similar, just a whole bunch more. So it's meat, potato, or it's got steak, or not steak. It's got beef, pork, sausage, and onions, celery, carrots, and potatoes, and a decent amount of seasoning, and about that many beers, and three spoons of this mixed with hot water in the cup. So I used the spoon, or used the tablespoon, threw it in there, hot water, mixed it all together, threw it in, did that 3 times. And then a mixture of Kinder's The Blend, Kinder's caramelized onion, and buttery garlic herbs. Airdrop ship. And chili powder. That's how I make it. It is your choice. There's like 2, 4, 6, about 8 pounds of beef or about 4 pounds of beef, 4 pounds of pork, and give or take 2 pounds of sausage. It is up to you for the beer. If you like light beer, use light beer. I honestly don't mind Blatz, and Blatz is kind of like mid-grade. My overall, I would have used this, but that's cheaper and still kind of sort of a heavier-ish beer, and it gives it more of a savory flavor at the end. And I did use about 2 tablespoons of butter. I cut off 7 and 8, right? 7, 8. Yeah. But, well, yeah. So tonight I'm not doing Dynasty Warriors. I'm just chilling and taking the night off, chilling with my dog, making food for tomorrow and rest of the weekend. Hopefully, I would assume all this would hold me over for a full week, almost. I mean, it is like fucking 12 pounds of meat almost, plus all the vegetables and stuff. Yeah. I'm going to chill tonight. I am going to enjoy a few beers. I am going to play some Hytale. I am not going to stream Hytale tonight until I figure out what I'm doing in the game. Because I haven't played Minecraft. Also, the world is flat too. Fair enough. Whatever. But I'm going to play Hytale tonight. Figure out... Hi, Rebecca. And I'm going to figure out what I'm doing tonight, or figure out how to play Hytale, and just enjoy my time, and hang out, and chill with a few beers and my dog, and while I'm cooking stew for this weekend, and stuff like that. So that's kind of my plan. And the beer choice tonight is Leinenkugel. Leinenkugels. I like it. It's good beer. And it is made in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's not made in Milwaukee, but that's where the company is. Brewing Company, Milwaukee. Okay. I could have swore it was made in like Kickapoo or Chippewa Falls. And that's where it's at. But the brewing company itself is out of Milwaukee. But yeah, if you're looking for a good original, heavy kind of ish beer, definitely recommend Leinenkugel's original beer. They also have Summer Shanty. They do have Honey Wise and some other flavors. Honey Wise is pretty much the same beer, just with honey mixed in with it. Fantastic. It honestly tastes like me. Taste like mead with beer instead of just straight mead. Because mead is made out of honey, and yeah, same. But yeah, I will, like I said before, I will not be doing Dynasty Warriors tonight. I will do that Friday evening, and I will also be doing Motortown hauling to the mines fuel. If anybody's interested in that, I completely fine with that. If you want to hang out and chill tomorrow night, you can. I will be tomorrow night. I'm planning on doing Dynasty Warriors first, and probably run that until like 9, and then we will play Motortown until we pass out, kind of ordeal, or decide to call it quits as long as I don't get too fricked up, you know. And then Saturday, I will do probably two streams in the morning. I'm not exactly sure what I'm playing Saturday, so we'll probably maybe play Hightail Saturday, and then maybe something else. I don't know. And then after that, I have fireman stuff to take care of. I have our Christmas party that evening tomorrow, or Saturday evening. I have a Christmas party, so I will not be streaming then. So that kind of changes schedule from normal, but that's okay. And then Sunday, I will have my Sunday morning talk, and then we'll play whatever I decide Sunday, and then go from there, kind of thing. Yeah, but in all reality, my stew stuff should be ready in a few hours, possibly, maybe. I doubt it. But I made it for this weekend. And this coming week, possibly. If I have enough. If not, then it's fine. But I'm making stew tonight, so I have consistency of food, I guess, instead of having to grab food from the gas station or something like that throughout the week. From here on out, kind of ordeal. But yeah, I think I'm going to play Hightail tonight. What the fuck is on my ceiling? Oh, it's just whatever. I thought at first when I was standing like back here, I thought it was like stuck to my head, but it's mark on my ceiling. I'm a dingus. But yeah, tonight's just gonna be a chill night. I'm just gonna relax, play a few games that I want to play, and then we'll stream tomorrow night. And I'm just gonna be me and do me tonight and have fun. I know that means that I missed 2 nights tonight of streaming, but so I'm sorry about that. But life got in my way the first time, and to date, I just wanna chill and not have to worry about anything or anything like that. So I'm just gonna play Hightail by myself and hang out, and then we will have an actual video game stream or multiple of them tomorrow night. Tonight's just gonna be me and my poopy just hanging out, doing nothing much, just chilling and playing games, watching TV, kind of thing. And he's already called it a night. He's passed out. He's like, fuck this shit, I'm done. Hi, welcome to the stream. I'm just randomly talking tonight. I'm not really gonna stream tonight, like video game wise. I'm just gonna talk and walk around and drink a few beers and just hang out tonight. I just want to chill. Don't really want to game tonight, so that's kind of what I'm doing. And if you want to come check out my channel, watch a few videos and stuff like that, like and subscribe if you want. It's up to you. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything, just more support is always better, I guess, to say, considering that I started this in August, I think. And I enjoy doing this. It's a great hobby, just something that I can't do every day, all day long kind of stuff, like other people can, because I do work a full-time job, possibly a full-time and a part-time job coming up. I don't know. Not sure. I like keeping busy. I like having something constant. And that's kind of why I've been streaming instead of recording, is because I can constantly stream and not have to honestly worry about editing. That's kind of the reason why I've been streaming more, because I don't like editing from what I've done. Like, there's been a few that I've had to edit, like some stuff that I've said, or music in the background and stuff like that. Like, I've had to cut music out and stuff like that. But other than that, like, recording wise is nice and all, but I'm not really a editor. So I kind of sort of just prefer doing streams instead of editing content. Anyways, most of the time lately I haven't edited anything. There's been a few recorded things that I have edited because of music issues and or just random stuff that I said that shouldn't have been said, or I've gotten phone calls that ended up fucking taking forever and I had to edit them out, so there wasn't a wait period in between. But yeah, if anybody does enjoy my channel and me randomly talking here and there, if you want, like and subscribe. I am planning on streaming tomorrow night. I don't think anything will change that unless I physically get a fire call or anything. And at this point, I don't think that's going to happen. We haven't had one in a while, but knock on wood. So hopefully we don't. I guess. Kind of just want to chill. I've had a pretty decent week, and I guess I have an interview Monday night for the village that I live in. So I'd have a possibility of getting a part-time job, or maybe a different full-time job. I don't know. Like right now, I'm kind of content where I'm at. But I feel like we're going to have our time possibly cut at some point. So I kind of want to have a backup source of funds. And if I don't get this job, I'll just work at a gas station fucking a Saturday or something. We got 2 in town, and both of the filling stations are gas stations in town. Everybody there pretty much loves me anyways. Like, as dumb as it is, for some reason, I get to know everybody at gas stations, even though I don't spend a whole lot of time, but I'm usually at one or the other just about every day picking up something, or getting food, or just bullshitting while I'm paying for gas, or whatever, fuel, or whatever. So, everybody knows me, but that's not a guarantee either. Kind of ordeal. So I'm honestly sure I'm not gonna get this position. Just just because it requires more than what I'm actually certified to do. But at the same point, I'm unsure. Either way, it's a possibility. And if I do, then maybe I can do said job Friday and Saturday or whatever, and just take some weight off of the current guy that's working there. But I don't know. So I'm just going to hope, alright, not hope, I guess, wish, and if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But yeah, tonight is just going to be a chill night for me, and I'm just going to relax and enjoy my Thursday night while my nom-noms are cooking for the upcoming day. I'm going to enjoy a few lineies and play some Hightail. Because I've watched multiple people play it, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I want to play that. And I downloaded it. I downloaded not the standard, but the mid-grade on the supporter edition. So it gives me a little extra, but it's fine. You want to pay, I think, like $60, or maybe it was almost 70 for the big, or the max everything or whatever. I think it was like 60 or almost $70. So I bought the mid grade. It was like 36 something, I think. So I'm gonna play that tonight and see how it is. And yeah. So I will stream tomorrow night. I'm gonna do both games that I have planned. Just I'm not sure what time each one's going to be tomorrow night. I think Dynasty Warriors will be first at 7. And then we'll play that until probably 9. And then like 9:30 on will be Motortown, I think. I don't know. I will get my schedule changed, my lives changed, and go from there. So that's kind of the plan for the upcoming day. And, I mean, if anybody does want to, or has watched the prior lives that I've done like this, that have covered some of my, I guess, weapons and stuff, I will definitely continue that, and I can go in more detail where I got them, and everything like that if you want. And the most expensive thing that I do own is my two-handed axe, or battle axe. It was very expensive. Very, very expensive. Should I have bought it? Probably not. But at the same point, can't go wrong with a battle axe. That is sharp and yeah. Anyways, good self-defense if anybody breaks in, you know. But yeah, if anybody like wants to see my melee weapons or two-handed weapons, I can definitely do another live explaining where I got them and everything like that too. But that is up to you guys and not me. Because the first time that I was gonna do it, I was like completely shit-faced, and I don't even remember what the fuck I said. Second time, that is actually posted somewhere in one of the VODs or streams that I did earlier this week, or maybe it was last weekend. I don't remember. Whenever I figured out how to do this, I didn't even know it was possible on the phone without using like other stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of cool. But I will definitely be streaming games tomorrow night and stuff like that. Like I've said, yeah. I honestly don't know what else to talk about right now. Like, I've had a pretty chill week so far, and by the sounds of it, I'm going to be staying in the warehouse, so get a little more freedom, a little more fun, less darkness, I guess to say. The only thing that sucks is right now the mixture of the warehouses, it depends on which one you're in. It ranges from like 40 degrees to 20 degrees. So you have to dress appropriately right now. Like the towers that we work in and bag in and package stuff are normally normal range, like 60 degrees, if not more, depending on who's there, who's doing what kind of ordeal. But like warehouses are just like sheds. They have no heat. Like our warehouses have zero heat. There's one that is temperature controlled during the summer that stays around 40 to 45 ish, I guess. But other than that, most of the warehouses are maybe 10 degrees warmer than it is outside most of the time. So if it's like 20 degrees outside, it's like 30 degrees inside maybe at max. Today it was like 13 degrees outside here, and two of the warehouses, the thermometers in there said that it was 20 degrees. Then there was two warehouses that were ranging 45 degrees today. So it just depends on which building, when they were made. The older buildings are colder, the newerish ones are slightly warmer. And the one that's temperature controlled in the summer is warmer than rest of them. But it normally is like 40 to 45 all year round in there. Because the corn and soybeans and all that stuff has to stay at a certain degrees for the germ and all that stuff, I guess. I'm not one with all that stuff. As long as the stuff grows, I don't see a problem, but whatever. When I first started there, I didn't know that there was male and female corn, sterile or fertile corn. I just thought corn was corn, you know. But, hey, I know a lot more than I did 8 years ago. Like 8 years ago, all that I knew how to do was work, wrench on vehicles, pull tits, and move shit. And now, I know more than I used to. Sometimes I do forget certain steps at work, but hey, it happens when you're used to doing it certain ways, and new people come and stuff like that, and you try to train them, and you kind of bounce back and forth and stuff like that. So sometimes you forget certain steps, but other than that, I mean, it's alright. And honestly, I love my job. I just wish that it was better, I guess. Like I've had my days. I have a love-hate relationship with my job, I guess. There's days that I rather stay home, and then there's days that I enjoy everything that I do. So that's why I consider it a love-hate relationship. And honestly, me looking for a new job is probably almost pointless, but at the same point, it might be something I actually need. Like, I've had multiple streams complaining and saying that I'm changing jobs and stuff like that prior, possibly. But honestly, it depends on my mood most days anymore. And that might be a problem, I guess. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not a doctor, a psychiatrist. I just go with the flow and try my life. I might be slightly on the alcoholic side, but at the same point, I don't drink every day, so. But I have drank more recently than prior as well. Prior days. But, I don't know. I think it's just because it's winter. And I can't really do anything outside because it's colder than frick all the time. Like today's high was 13. Next week it's supposed to be mid-20s or 30s. So, yeah, at least nice outside. We almost just sweatshirt weather. It's a winter coat. But yeah. I kind of just randomly crushed the can before I drank most of it. I don't know why. But yeah. I think I've talked about my mead before, but yeah, so I guess mead is probably some of the easiest alcohol or stuff to make, almost. So, depends on the flavor, depends on what you want, but so mead is usually an alcoholic yeast. Depending on how much you're making. If you're making a gallon, it takes 2.5 to 3 pounds of honey. Excuse me. So it's, goddamn. So it takes a carboy, which is a glass jug. I can show you one. I guess you don't know what a carboy is, but it's one of these guys. That's sediment or just glow? That is just glow. Okay. But one of those guys. And then I have airlocks, plungers, or grommets, I guess. So I got grommets, pain pills, don't need those. But grommets and airlocks, depending on what style you like. There's these type and these ones, depending on your vibe or your want. In my opinion, I like the double because if there's any sediment that rises, it gets trapped usually before it makes its way out and makes a mess. The only problem is cleaning these bitches. These double ones are a pain because you have to rinse water back and forth, back and forth, back and forth kind of thing until it comes clean. These ones are easy, but if something happens, it usually shoots out the top. These ones kind of do the same thing sometimes depending on the pressure and the shit inside. But most of the time, double locks work better than the single locks. But it's all up to everybody's preference and stuff like that. But the way that I normally make it, I usually get really, really hot water from the sink, or I boil water. I throw sanitizer in it, which is obviously step one, sanitizer. And I sanitize it, my carboy, and everything that I'm going to be touching or using. So if I'm using tablespoons or teaspoons or anything along those lines, sanitized. If I'm using a funnel, sanitized, which I do have a funnel. Everything that I use is in this cabinet, minus the tile, I guess. But so I got that. I got a tablespoon. My hose, if I'm transferring anything. My top opener and stuff like that. If I'm using a 5-gallon bucket for the top opener, this thing. Stuff like that. But so I boil water, add sanitizer. I put everything that needs to be sanitized inside of the water. And then if I'm using a carboy, I will sanitize the exterior and interior, the grommet, and the airlock, or the lock itself. And after it sanitizes, and if I sanitize, or when I sanitize the inside, I usually put it in there, put a cap on it that's sanitized, shake it, take the cap off, like shake it around again. Then I will do the whole tornado move when you're dumping out like a glass bottle or something where it does like the cyclone inside. That's normally how I do it. And then I let it dry, or let it cool down, dry down a little bit, or dry out a little bit. And then, depending on which way you want to do it, I normally get some warm water. Like normally I plug like my sink and then put steaming hot water or warm water in it. Then I put my raw honey in it, like raw honey jugs, and let that sit and settle or like loosen up so it's actually more of a liquid than solid. And let that sit for a while, and then I'll dump in my jugs of honey. Most of the time, if you buy a jug of honey, it's anywhere from a pound. For the most part, it's a pound to 3 pounds. Sometimes you can get 5, depending on where you go. But I definitely recommend raw honey. It tastes better, and it's something that will last forever. If you get purified honey, it's been broke down and ran through filters and everything, so it's clean, or I guess to say, but it don't have as good as a flavor, and it don't last forever after it's purified. So I always use raw honey of some sort. Depending on the flavor that I want, I get different honeys. But I always go for a raw type of honey if it's flower based or if it's more just everyday kind of like raw honey. Depends on what flavor you want in your mead, I guess. But when the mead is more or the honey is more liquefied, being in warm water, I normally dump in all my honey, which is anywhere from 2.5 to 3 pounds, which is usually a jug and a half, give or take, or a full jug, depending on what kind you get. And then I get warm water. Fill the carboy about halfway. Then I put either the plunger or the cap on it and shake it until the honey and the water completely combine. That's why I use warm water, so it combines everything together. And then when it's all combined, I add yeast nutrients, which I'll show you the ones that I normally use. Depending on what I want, I either get EC11 or 1118 or D47. D47 is more for higher alcohol content, and EC1118 is something that is more of a stable one. Will give you a lower alcohol content, but it will ride through, and you can add more of it later if need be, and it will continue through kind of thing. And then once I get that added, I will fill the carboy up to the gallon mark, and then I will put my yeast nutrients in, which is also up to you guys on what you get. But I always get Fermento, and they sell it in different size bags. It comes from Canada, so it takes a few days to get here. But it works great, and depending on how big of a batch you use, it's usually, I don't remember. So normally a package of yeast will do 5 gallons. So normally use 1 part of yeast and a whatever this thing is, a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast nutrients. But it's up to you. Honestly, I got a whole booklet when I first got it And honestly, it's all about flavor, consistency, and if you want it to be see-through or not. Some stuff you can't get to be see-through, but honestly, this is apple pie mixture, so it's shows apples, um, cinnamon sticks, and then just instead of using water, I used apple cider. So I warmed up the apple cider. I didn't boil it, but I warmed it up and added it with the honey, and then same steps, just I added fruit and apple cider instead of using actual tap water or distilled water, depending on what you want to use. Other people will tell you other ways, and as long as it makes alcohol and it tastes good and is not um, slimy looking, that's good. If it comes out slimy or it ends up becoming like a slimy consistency, I would recommend flushing it or getting rid of it because that is poisonous to yourself. Because something did not work right and it is liable to kill you. But every batch that I've made has been either too strong for myself or perfect. Like the first batch that I made was it was enough to burn you all the way to your soul. But it tasted fantastic. It just was just rough. And there will always be sediment unless you like sediment, because normally I let it sit for a few months and then I like jar it, and there's always some type of sediment that like I wouldn't say grows but forms in the bottom of everything unless you babysit it and change containers multiple times or let it sit for a full year and then drain it to a different container kind of thing. That's honestly all your choice and depending on how you want to make it kind of thing. But normally I ferment it in one carboy and then I transfer it over to another one and just let that sit, and then I normally make it into mason jars just to drink or give to friends kind of thing, or whatever, whoever wants it kind of thing. Yeah, it's kind of what I do. Haven't really made much of it lately because, well, honey is expensive as fuck, and I've got enough to enjoy for a while, and I don't really drink it that much because, yeah, it's, I want to say it's strong, but it's enough to freak you up, you know. Because most of the time it ranges anywhere from 10 to 18% alcohol, which I mean, it takes a decent amount to fuck you up, but when you're fucked up, you're fucked up, kind of ordeal. It's kind of like drinking wine. Because it's pretty much technically honey wine. It's made the same way almost. Just fermenting and stuff. But honestly, it's good. It's a fun hobby to do. And as long as you make it right, it tastes good. Multiple ways to make it, different steps, just different processes. And all that stuff's up to whoever's making it, kind of thing. Like, you can add berries, you can add fruit, you can add spices and stuff to make it better, and stuff like that. Or taste to your specified need or want to have a flavor. Like, I enjoy apples, and I just enjoy straight up meat. I've made 2 types of grape stuff before. In my opinion, tastes exactly like wine, just with more of a sweetness at the end. Usually. I was a dumbass twice. I tried to make banana mead, like out of bananas, and well, with the high potassium in bananas and the fermenting process, it tends to explode. Like, not a fire explosion, it just tends to either blow up the glass that I'm using or blow the top, like blow the plug and everything out of the carboy. I did not know that was a thing. I did not know that was possible until it happened twice, and I'm like, yeah, I'm never ever doing that again. Like, it smelled good. I thought it was going to be good. I honestly think you have to use like completely processed bananas or banana flavoring to make banana mead. You can't use actual bananas in themselves. It's and if somebody knows how to, let me know. Because I want to try it, but at the same point, I honestly don't think you can actually use banana slices because it causes a boom. Because I physically, I made it twice. I blew one whole carboy like completely all over the place. Thank God it was in my basement, so it was whatever. My second one just shot the plug and airlock out and just made a volcano and just went everywhere. So I had banana chunks and liquid all over my steps, all over my basement floor. The first one was a pain because it was everything everywhere, like instantaneously. I think it took like 3 days, and then there's goddamn. There was like, I think it was like third or fourth day, and I was chilling in my living room, and then all of a sudden, all that I heard was a loud banging, glass shattering, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? I opened the door, and it was like everywhere in my basement, and I'm like, maybe I did something wrong, so I did it again with less bananas, and it just blew the top off, or blew out the plug and everything, and I'm like, okay, it's not gonna work, so I quit trying to make banana stuff. But I'm pretty sure if you use like artificial flavoring or something, it might work. But I don't know. I haven't tried it since then. Normally I go apples. Because apples work. I tried blackberry, black cap. I don't remember which ones they are. It's whatever grows on my bush outside, or bushes outside. I think they're black caps. Honestly. It was not very flavorful. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again either. Like, it tasted good, but at the same point, it was not sweet enough or flavorful enough to enjoy. So I was just like, I'm done with that. So most of the time I make either like a citrus blend made out of soda. So I either get Mellow Yellow or Squirt and make it the same way. Just instead of using water, I use warm soda. And then go from there. Sometimes if you are using soda and you have to reach a certain pH, you gotta use some type of potassium. I got it somewhere in my fridge. I don't know where. It's potassium sorbate, I think. That's what it says. That will help make your stuff fermentable. If I remember right, maybe it's some other type of potassium. I don't remember. But normally sodas, if you add enough nutrients, they'll ferment anyways. And it makes it squirt, like the Squirt soda. It's fantastic. Mellow Yellow is good too. I don't recommend Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. Oh, I don't like Mountain Dew anyways in general. Like the standard Mountain Dew, but if I'm gonna make mead out of soda, I usually use Mellow Yellow or Squirt. That's kind of my go-to. Mountain Dew kind of like. I kind of lost my love for Mountain Dew a while ago. Most of the time, if I drink Mountain Dew, it's either Pitch Black, which is like the grape one, or I drink Live Wire, which is the orange. I do like Voltage too, and Baja Blast, obviously, but original Mountain Dew, I don't like. I can't do it anymore. I used to drink it all the time, and no. Other than that, like the Mountain Dews that I do drink when I can find them are like Kickstarts, like the orange one. The orange Kickstart's pretty dang, but other than that, Mountain Dew is not my favorite soda anymore. It used to be, but not anymore. But if I buy soda anymore, it's either Squirt or root beer. And if I'm buying soda to mix with alcohol, depending on the alcohol, it's either root beer or Dr. Pepper. I don't really care for Coke or Pepsi either. I used to love both of them, and now no, not so much either. So if I'm drinking like rum, it's root beer. If I'm drinking whiskey, I usually put Dr. Pepper in it. Or Dr. Pepper cream soda. Either or. Dr. Pepper goes good with most alcoholic drinks. But if I'm drinking rum, it is always root beer. And it's either mug root beer or A&W root beer. I don't really care for Barq's that much. It's a weird flavor. I mean, it's good, but it's not the root beer flavor that I like. And honestly, a lot of people are gonna hate me probably, but I think Culver's root beer is more vanilla-y tasting than A&W root beer. But honestly, I love both root beers. But if I'm going to straight up buy root beer, I either buy Mug, the one with the pug on it, or I get A&W root beer. And those are the ones that I normally drink, or I will mix with whiskey or scotch, or rum. Depending on the flavor of whiskey, if it's like an apple whiskey, or if it's Patty's whiskey, I normally go Dr. Pepper cream soda. Patty's whiskey, this stuff is fantastic. It's good stuff. It's by far the best that I found, other than, yeah, that's the best Irish whiskey that I found. I mean, Jameson's not bad, but Patty's is good. It's an interesting flavor. Scotch, I either drink straight, or I'll either mix one of those two sodas with it. It depends. I don't really drink liquor that much. Now, if it's like Purple Crown, I tend to have a consistency of drinking that straight out of the bottle, which is bad, but at the same point, I love that stuff. It's my favorite straight whiskey, or on the rocks, either or, good stuff. But I don't really care for liquor that much. It normally makes me feisty. So most of the time, if I'm drinking alcohol, I'm going to drink beer. And that's normally what I do. Depending on the night, depending on the day, depends on how many I have, usually. Most of the time, it's normally like four beers, depending how I mood. Tonight, I had 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 5 so far. Which is what it is. And it's 7, and first beer I had was, 4:45, 5 o'clock. Yeah, it was like 4:45. It was like right after I got home, I took my dog out. I cracked a beer. I didn't drink it all right away, obviously, but I drank it while I was cutting all my ingredients. Then, after I got my first layer completed, I drank the rest of that wood, opened another wood, and then cut my next layer of ingredients and finished that one, and then I was done. I think. No, it was 3 layers. But I only drank 2 beers while I cut 3 layers of food. So my first layer was onions, carrots, celery, potatoes, and then I cut up pork, beef, sausage. Well, hold on, we'll back out. We'll back down. It was onions, carrots, potatoes, celery, and then all my seasonings that I showed earlier. Like I spread it around. Pork, beef, sausage. Yeah, it was. Then it was all the vegetables again, seasoning, and then I cut rest of my meat up on top, and then I spread the rest of my vegetables on top of that, and then I seasoned it, whatever. And then I threw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beers in there until I could see it, like getting up to the almost top of the ingredients. And then I threw my beef bouillon in it with warm water, boiling water, or hot water, either way, whatever you want to consider it. It wasn't like fully boiling; it was just hot. I threw pretty much 3 tablespoons of that in, and then I kind of pushed everything down, and then put it on 250, closed the lid, and then I let that simmer for probably 2 hours right before I started this, and then I threw 2 tablespoons of butter in it. I also threw some black pepper and sea salt in it as well. Because that's the way that I made it last time. I might have to add more seasonings later, considering that I have more meats and more stuff inside of it. But that's okay. It's already smelling good, and it's already definitely getting soft inside, and the meat's starting to turn less red, It's actually cooking, kind of thing. I will have to mix it at some point here. Normally the first mix I do in like 3 hours, which it's been going since 5, so 5, 6, 7, 8. So around 8:30, 9 o'clock I will mix it. And then I'll mix it again before I actually fall asleep. Hopefully I actually sleep tonight, because last night I was like awake every other hour, it felt like. And then I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning, and I could not fall asleep after that. So I just threw my blanket over top of my head and just stayed there until my alarm went off at 6. I don't know why. Fucking the night, whatever night it was, Wednesday night, Tuesday night, that I didn't stream either, that I was having issues. I ended up taking, I think I had 4 melatonins and, I don't know, like 6 beers, and I didn't go to sleep at all. But yesterday, all day yesterday, I was tired of the fuck until I got home. After I got home, I wasn't tired at all. Yesterday I had 2 original monsters too to keep me awake, and that barely did anything. Today I woke up this morning, felt perfectly fine. not tired, not anything. But I had a Monster on the way to work, or at work. And then at lunch, I had a Monster juice. I think it's Viking Berry. Yeah, Viking Berry Monster. At lunch with, what the fuck did I have for lunch? Oh, Philly steak pizza. Phenomenal. Phenomenal pizza. Had that, and then I had an Oreo brownie made by Hostess, or I think it's Hostess. I don't know. I don't know who makes brownies anymore. Pretty sure it was like Hostess. I don't know. It's fantastic. Oreos and brownies go together. That's all I have to say. I had that. I had 2 slices of the Philly cheesesteak pizza. I ate one most of the way. Gave half of it to my dog, or gave like the back half and most of the crust to my dog. I guess, well, he deserves some good nom nom too, other than dog food. And then the second piece, I ate most of that. And then my dog's still on antibiotics and some inflammatory medicines. So, me being me, I shoved the medicine in the slice of pizza, and then, or the piece of pizza they gave him, and gave it to him, and he ate it all. So he got his medicines for the day. And his paw, I mean, the night that I actually took his bandage off, it was rough looking. Like, it was, still had blood on it and everything, and it was unpleasant to see. It literally looked like ground beef, bloody ground beef. Like after it got ran through, I don't know. Like it was rough looking. And then he kept on licking it, and him licking it made it bleed a little bit, and then by a little bit he got it everywhere. And then I was like, "Bud, you can't be doing that right now. You gotta let it fucking simmer and just be alright." But no, him being him, he ended up getting blood all over my couch, all over the footstool, all over the blankets, pillows, and everything. Because obviously it was still mostly an open wound at that point, minus the sutures that the vet put in it. So, him being him and him struggling while I was trying to take his bandage off, it ended up like breaking the, whatever you want to call it, the, not callus, but scab or whatever, and then him licking it ended up healing the scab more, and then got blood everywhere. And I'm just like, "Bud." And there was a few times while I was trying to like cut the bandage off, I thought he was gonna bite me. Like he was unhappy, unpleased with me trying to even touch the foot. But at the same point, the bandage was already starting to fall off, and he was trying to pull it off with his teeth, and I'm like, "Bud, I'll just cut it off." So I tried to cut it off with a pair of like fucking facial scissors. It wouldn't even go through it. And I'm like, "Okay, well, I gotta find a pair of scissors." I dug around the whole house. The only scissors that I own are stuff that came with my beard kits that I got last time. So it's like scissors, like hair scissors. Sharp enough to cut hair, not sharp enough to go through athletic tape or bandage or whatever they put on them. And I'm like, what the hell am I going to use? And I'm like, if I'm going to use a knife and the way that he is, we're both going to end up in the fucking hospital. So I was like, I honestly don't know what I'm going to use. So I was looking around. I found the sharpest pair and the newest pair of wire cutters that I have. Like I think I got a pair in here. Maybe not anymore. Yeah, I do. It's not a new pair, but my new pair's elsewhere now. I think it's still in the living room from where I cut his bandage off. But these things. This little wire cutter thing. No, these things are fucked. But these things. I used a pair of those to slowly cut his bandage off. And there was a few times that he nipped at me. Like didn't bite or anything, but he like grabbed a hold of my hand with his teeth. Like he didn't bite, didn't leave marks or anything. Like he knows better. But at the same point he did grab my hand with his teeth, and I'm like, bud, we can't be doing this. So I had like an old string from like a pair of long john, or not long johns, but pajama pants that I pulled out because they were halfway through anyways. But I was like, bud, I know that this is going to suck for both of us, but I literally made him like a bite collar for his nose with it. He hated it. I didn't like it either, because, well, obviously, it's my dog kind of thing. But I tied it on him, or put it around his nose or snoot and mouth so he couldn't bite me. If he actually came to the point that he was going to actually bite instead of just touch with his teeth, I was just like, I don't want you to bite me, and I know you don't want to bite me, but I'm going to protect myself just in case, because I understand your foot's sore, tender, and it's been a pain for the last few months, because it's been on and off swelling, on and off issues, on and off all that stuff. Because he broke it, and then with him breaking it, his body ended up like creating meningitis or something like that, which is a fast-growing cell that causes swelling and is a cancerous thing, which is either caused by trauma or DNA issues and stuff like that. It can be human or animal that can get it, which can also lead to other cancers if it's not caught early enough and all that stuff, which it was caught early enough. All they had to do was amputate his toe. Yeah, that's where it was at. It was in his bone. It was in his tissue and stuff like that. And it costed too much. But it was worth it because he's happy and I get to hang out with my dog until our time's done. Kind of thing. Which is great. I don't think I could actually live without him. Or at least live without a dog anymore. I'm so used to coming home and having him here. The 2 days that he was at the vet, I could barely sleep. I was lost. Literally. Like, nothing felt the same. Like, I came home at lunch, and I had nobody to share my food with. I had nothing. Because normally at lunchtime I come home, take Rascals out, and we share food, or I share some of my food, and we hang out for a half hour until I go back to work, and yeah, I didn't have that option for 2 days, and it sucked. Literally. But he's back, he's doing better, and yeah, it took me almost an hour and a half. That was Tuesday night. That's the night that I was stressed. That I was like, I'm not doing nothing. I was stressed out about that and other stuff, and him not listening to me about everything made it worse, and trying to struggle and get it off of him. Because at that point, he already had a hole wore through the bandage, and he was already bleeding through the bandage. Because he already opened it slightly, and I was like, but I gotta get it off. And it was like an hour and a half, 2 hour struggle trying to cut it off of him. And life itself sucked balls Tuesday night anyways, but it was just a rough go round, and I was just like, I physically can't do anything. Like, I was done. I was physically cooked after that. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do anything. And he was being a pain. And then he got blood everywhere, so I had to clean everything. And it just sucked. And like, I had to wash my blanket twice. Or wash one of the blankets twice because he ended up bleeding on it. And then I washed it, and then he laid on it that night after I washed it, and he ended up getting blood all over it again, so I had to wash it twice. And pain in the butt, but I love the damn guy. He's a good boy. But yeah, my dog, I love my dog. He's a good boy. It's a pain, but what dog's not a pain? They always do something stupid. Ain't that right, Miss Waskins? You're always doing something crazy. He's still kind of gimpy. He's missing a toe, aren't you? Ain't you, buddy? You're missing a toenail. But it's actually looking pretty decent. He's got to get stitches taken out next week. Right, your surgery was what? 22nd, 29th. So you get stitches out the 5th. Yeah, don't you, buddy? And then you can be back to Mr. Waskel Kitties. Yeah. He's a lazy poops. He's a good boy. He's still kind of gimpy, but most of the time he does use his left paw, right paw, right paw now, which is good. And he's happy now. And if I touch his paw now, he don't growl at me, which is great. He don't hate me anymore. I can actually touch his paw, which is good. Because when it was swollen before, I couldn't go anywhere near the leg without him growling at me. And then, obviously, with the bandage on it, it was uncomfortable because it was obviously wrapped up and itchy and stuff. So he was always upset if I touched it. And then trying to cut it off, like we explained, cut off his bandage, it was more of a growl / nippy situation. But now, since his bandage is off, he actually stands on his paw every once in a while, walks on it. I don't know where he's going. But yeah, he's standing and walking on both. He's kind of gimpy, but he's a good boy. He's doing great now. I'm happy. And he's... Fuck. He's only 4 years old, or not even 4 years old. He won't be 4 years old until like April. No, hold on. Maybe it's not April. I don't know. Yes. Okay. I was gonna say I got him, and he was like 4 weeks old, but I don't remember when that was. I think I got him in April because we were just done planting corn. We just like midway through. March, April, May. I don't remember. I got it. He was like 4 weeks old when I got him. It was either mid-April or early May when I got him. And he was such a little guy. And the only reason why I got him was because he was the only one out of the whole litter that was that color. And in most cases, if a dog has like a black tint inside of their mouth, they're normally a better dog. And he had it. And he was the only one that actually ran up to me when I was looking at the pups. And I was like, okay. Like, him and his mother, his obviously mother or whatever, like, they both were the only two that actually came up to me and actually wanted to be petted or anything when I got him. And I was like, frick it, I'm taking Rascals home. And he was the only one that looked like this. The rest of them actually had like the more of a blue healer look. Like they were more polka dotty, like all throughout the body, or most of them were like a white with like the beagle head or like coloring. But he was the only one that was completely like mostly black with the beagle like outline and with the speckles. And I was like, yeah. And he's such a good boy. He's literally a sweetheart. He's a pain, but he's a sweetheart. He's a good boy, aren't you, buddy? You're a good boy. Yeah. He's the best dog in the world. And he always just wants your lovies. He's such a good boy, aren't you? Yeah, he's a good boy. And I'm just happy that he's doing okay now. The first 2 nights after he got back, or the first 2 days after he got back from the surgery, he didn't want anything to do with anybody. Like he just laid in a corner and just sat there, or laid and just didn't want anything to do with anything. All that he wanted was water. He didn't even eat anything because, well, I don't know. He didn't try to eat. He didn't do anything. He just drank water. And then I changed out his food twice. Still didn't eat any. And I'm like, it's not good. But then, I think I made pork chops one night, and he was right next to me the whole time, and I gave him some of my pork chop, and he ate all of it, or ate that piece, and I was like, okay, well, at least you're hungry now. So I gave him dog food that night. He ate all of it. And then I made my stew, and me and him shared multiple bowls of it. Like I'd dump it into his food bowl, and he would eat the whole food bowl worth and stuff. Make a mess in the process, but he would eat it all. And then now he's back to normal. He eats whatever I eat now, plus his dog food. So I'm happy. I mean, he obviously still don't like certain things still, but it's fine. But yeah, he's doing good now. My life is slightly better. I'm not nearly as stressed as I was beforehand either, so that's positive. But yeah, I guess honestly I could have probably just streamed Dynasty Warriors tonight. I guess we've already spent an hour blabbing. But honestly, I don't really feel like playing games tonight. I just wanted to talk and go from there. But yeah, tomorrow night I will do Dynasty Warriors first at like 7 to 9:30, 9:30, give or take. Maybe. We'll see. And then we will do Motortown after that. And then Saturday, I'm unsure yet. If I actually enjoy Hightail and actually half-ass understand what it is or how to play it. Because I used to play Minecraft when I was younger. And this is pretty much a knockoff, but different from Minecraft. So we're going to try it and see what it is. Because I've seen a lot of people play it, and it's intrigued me to buy it. Or purchase it and play it. So yeah, that's my plan. We might play that Saturday. Not sure yet. But I definitely want to keep Dynasty Warriors in the loop until we can get through the story at least once. Because I really enjoy that game, and I've beat it twice. And this will be third time if we actually keep to it this time. Because I've tried it 3 more times. Or this is the third time on the PC. And I always get sidetracked playing other stuff. So hopefully this time we can actually play through it. And I can actually have streams of it. I know there's a lot of people out there that probably don't know what the hell Dynasty Warriors is. Or don't like it. But it's a good game. If you like hack and slash games. But yeah. I will keep that in my loop. And then we'll probably add Hightails if I like it. And stuff like that. So that's kind of my plan moving forward. As of right now, I will have a full-on half-ass schedule Sunday. like normal. But yeah, thank you all. I greatly, greatly appreciate every single one of you. Always remember to live and enjoy your life. Always be true to yourself. And I hope you all have a good night, good evening, good day, or good afternoon. Whatever it is for you. Hope everything's great. And I will see you in the next one. So, bye-bye.